Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. You just tuned in to the most exclusive podcast, Mogul Moves Only. Hey. Hey, we gonna have a good time today, y'all. I got a real heavy hitter with me today. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah.
Just had to get my money right.
Hey.
I've been grinding for my whole life.
Mogul Moves Only
I just had to get
podcast.
my money right.
Yeah.
I've been grinding for my whole life.
Yeah.
I just had to get my money right.
Yeah.
I've been grinding for my whole life.
Yeah.
If you want it, gotta pay the price.
Yeah. Yo. You just tuned in to the most exclusive podcast, Mogul Moves Only, with your boy Big D The Mogul, a.k.a. Suge Diddy, a.k.a. Illuminati Jack, a.k.a. Big Thanos, a.k.a. Heaven on Earth, a.k.a. Fuddy Duddy.
I'll let them.
You know what I'm saying? I got a big heavy hitter in the building.
What's going
Some
on?
may know you by Perrion. Somebody may now know you by Playa Perrion. But I got a real Dallas heavy hitter in the building, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming,
What's going on, my boy?
rocking with me, man.
We in this thing.
Man, how you doing today, man?
I'm all right. I can't complain. Hell.
So big things popping with you. I see you off on your vacation, man. I see you out at the BET Awards, man.
Yeah.
How was that, bro? Tell me how that went down.
It was cool, man. It was real nice. It was exclusive. They showed me love out in LA. They fucking with the Texas culture, the drip as we say now.
Okay.
You know, they showed me a lot of love, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. The city of LA is nice.
It's dope. So, like, do you normally go to all, like, the festivals, like South by Southwest, A3C, all that?
I try to go to the ones that I get some type of invitation to try to, to help promote me on some type of platform.
No doubt.
So if I get invited, like last year at South by Southwest, I did one of the events at it was one of like the making it now radio or something like that,
Okay.
magazine stuff like that. So if I get some type of event or something, I'm there, man. I'm gonna do something. But if I don't have no business in the city, I probably won't be there. You see what I'm saying?
No doubt. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. A lot of big things popping with you. I know you got a big following out there. A lot of fans, man, that's excited to see this podcast and get to know you a little bit, man. So just to start off, where you from?
I'm from Dallas, man. I originally from Dallas, Texas, born and raised.
Okay.
I graduated from North Dallas High School. I went to school in Mesquite for a couple years. I've been everywhere around this bitch, you know. I'm a Dallas baby, and everybody know me.
Okay, no doubt, man. So growing up in Dallas, man, you went to this music thing. So how long you been doing the music?
Officially, I say 6 years.
Okay.
Getting credit or getting notoriety or notice for what I'm doing. But I kind of started in into high school type shit, playing with it. So about 10 years now.
Okay, no doubt. So what made you get into music? Like, at what point in time in your life you felt like, this is what you wanted to do?
I always like putting music together. I always liked the concept, being in the studio and coming up with dope shit and shit that's melodic and sound good. And I used to always look up to Tupac and all them niggas that came out in the mid 90s and late 90s,
Okay.
and then Houston and down south started taking over, Master P and them, and they used to just have dope ass shit, and I just wanted to be player like them, you know what I'm saying? So I always just kind of wanted to just put my own spin on the culture from Texas, influenced by Pimp C and UGK, real heavy, Zero them, Bun. All them. It's just I just love the culture of music and how shit happen and how people have their own story to tell and be able to put it together and put it in music. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So it was always a good thing to me,
So at what point in time, like, you realized that you was actually good? Like, well, let me back up. Yeah. Before the music, had you always aspired to be a musician? Was it something else that you wanted to do before you figured out, like, rap was something you wanted to do?
Nah, I wanted to play football.
Okay.
Cause that was my whole thing. Nobody in my family ever made it to college or none of that shit.
Okay.
They just always had a job. And my mama and them from the country. They from Arkansas. So when
Okay.
they came out here to Texas and, they end up adopting me or whatever. And then from there, I was like, the first person to actually pursue football and was good at the shit. I was actually getting looks from colleges and shit like that. Was
That's
like
dope.
the all area running back in my 11th grade year. And then shit, I just start falling off, if you will. Just start paying attention to the wrong shit and trying to make fast money and really ended up going the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? But I actually had a good chance with that shit. But that was my first dream, first love, football, making it at somebody D1 college and getting drafted. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah.
So, like, when you say the wrong way, what do you mean that? Like, elaborate a little bit. Tell us that wrong way and what ended up happening with that way.
Well, like, for instance, I was like one of them kids that, you know, like every other teenager, you know, because when I didn't know I was adopted until I was like 13, 14 years old. So
Okay.
I had just learned all that shit at that age, and that's
Wow.
like your beginning stages of high school and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to high school and I'm playing ball and all this, but I'm getting confused because motherfuckers asking you, you know, my family black, but they'll ask you, or is you white, or what you mixed with? Like, you know, you ain't just black, you know, all this shit. So you get all these questions and you start not really knowing what your real ethnicity is.
No doubt.
In a sense of like who is my real biological mama and shit like that. So in my mind, that kind of started taking me down the road of being rebellious and a badass. So I started smoking weed and started just rebelling because, you know, not just because I was adopted, but just because a nigga was just feeling, you know, by itself type shit, you know,
Yeah.
in my own world. So, you know, I just started introverting and shit. I started smoking weed. I started selling weed at like 17.
Okay.
Shit. And I ran away from the house one time. My mama said, "You can't never live with me again. You think you grown, now you grown."
Wow.
So, you know, and that's where I fucked up at. And that's where I try to raise my kids and trying to give them my lesson or my story so they can do the opposite. Because sometimes you got to go through shit in life before you actually know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Back then, I didn't think that was right. I just thought, shit, I'm grown now. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. But if I just would have stayed down and probably went to school or went to a junior college or something, you never know. I could have grinded up out that shit. But at that mentality I had as a young nigga, I wasn't really focusing on. I was focused on just trying to make some money at that point. I just said, fuck school, fuck all this. You know, I barely made it out of school, barely graduated. You know, shit,
Okay.
I had like 120 days absences in my senior year, and I barely even made it. It's just because I ended up getting in the Reconnect program, and I just ended up passing that shit in a month and a
that's
half. I
dope.
graduated because I was like, fuck this, I'm not finna be held back my last year of school. But that was the only reason that I kind of got up out of school was because the motivation to say, fuck this shit, I ain't finna get held back and look like a dumbass and end up either getting held back or dropping out. So my thing was, fuck it, getting Reconnect, do what I need to do, and get my paperwork certificate, walk across the stage, and then I'm done with school. I ain't fucking with it. Fuck football, fuck everything. And the mindset of just wanting to be in the streets is what made it wrong for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It put me in the wrong perspective or mind frame, if you will. So I just kept going with it and shit. That's been my life ever since I chose that shit, basically.
So kind of like to interject, like, okay, so your mom's put you out.
Right.
You ran away first. Your mom says you couldn't come back.
Right.
You start hitting in the streets.
Right.
You still able to manage to go to school. Football was your dreams, but in that time frame, at what point did you start to really look at like, oh, I'm good at this music shit?
Well, the music came probably around like 2000. I graduated 2007, and I was doing music with one of my childhood people, like childhood like partners, like my brother type shit. So it was like we had been rapping on the karaoke machine, but it really didn't like hit me that I was gonna be good with this shit until one day we made a song and everybody was like, damn nigga, you really killed that hoe. Like you really, I'm like, for real, y'all think I killed that hoe? And it's just the motivation of my partners and people around me and my other peers just made me feel like, well damn, I might actually got something. I might, you know, and that's what, in probably like 2008, 2009, when I started saying, fuck it, I'm finna go really hard with this music. Until I figured out you had to have some money and motherfuckers wasn't putting you on and motherfuckers ain't reaching back, giving and helping niggas that's trying to make it up out of a bad situation. That shit it's still to this day, it's kind of hard to find a real nigga out here in the industry that'll say, oh, I fuck with you, little homie, I'm gonna show you some shit and make sure you don't do some of the same shit I did type shit. So, you know, I was blessed to find some people along my way, but back then, we ain't had none of that.
So when it comes to So you said you need money. Everybody now you know the you need a budget. So
Right.
did that make you go overkill in the streets? Like how was you?
And that really did that. What you saying? But see, in 2009, I had ended up being on the run for a bond for it's not a bond, but for a probation violation. And so really,
What was the initial charge?
the initial charge was possession of a controlled substance. I was selling ecstasy at the time. That was a real big thing. Everybody was fucking with them pills and shit. But I got caught. But so I was hustling hard like a motherfucker. 2009, 2008, 9, 10, 11. All that time was just my go hard years or whatever. But I was on the run for 2 years, still in the trap. We doing everything we doing. You know what I'm saying? And everybody around me knew we had a studio in this spot. We were hustling out the spot. We was doing everything out that hoe. But everybody knew that nigga Dunn gonna go to jail at one point. He gonna go to jail.
Yeah, you can't run forever.
Yeah, you can't. You gonna have to sit down at some point and shit. And that's basically what happened in 2010. I got caught up, and I ended up getting jammed up on a probation violation along with some other charges with some people that didn't, stand up. But I got charged again with another.
You fine? You can leave it open. You good?
Another possession of controlled substance and another little weed case and some more shit on top of my bond. I mean, on top of my probation violation. So that's like 4 charges ran concurrent in 2010. So I was blessed. I only did 6 months on a probation violation. They reinstated it and ran the other ones concurrent and just basically put me on another added year felony probation and another 6 months for the weed charge. So in all, with the added year and the other 3 years probation, they reinstated me for. I had to do another 4 years probation. So I just got off of that shit this year.
Congrats on that, man. Yeah. So how does that feel? Like knowing that you.
To be honest with you, bro, that shit, I ain't been free since 2008. So it's like shit, being on some type of paperwork, reporting to these white folks or just telling them what you got going on, pissing in the car. I've been doing that shit for the last 10, 11 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? And boy, when I walked up out there, the goddamn Frank Crowley, Lou Sterrett, shit, I was happy as a motherfucker. I damn near did a cartwheel, bro. I put it on Instagram and everything. I went live walking out that motherfucker because I was just happy, bro, just to be free of them folks. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to be under nobody control no more. You can smoke when you want to. You can leave the city when you want to. Now I can leave the country. I just got applied for my passport. I'm going to Mexico in the end of the year, and then I'm going to motherfucking I forgot, baby, got to tell. We going to Punta Cana or something like that in February. In February. We got Mexico in November and Punta Cana and whatever in February. I'm trying to get my stamps.
Hey, man, do your thing, bro.
Look, they didn't let a nigga off this shit. I was blessed to get to have at least have some money behind me enough to just where I can pay for non-disclosures and that's what I've been trying to help people with. Understand that ignorance of the law is not really accepted. Like that shit real. When people say that shit, like I fought my own case. I had a court-appointed lawyer. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He just was half-assing it. So I end up having people teach me and self-teach myself on going to the law library on how to file paperwork, on how to appeal your appeal your case or appeal anything you have going on and be able to get filed for non-disclosures. Most times they'll tell you got to pay a lawyer $1,500 just to go do something. It only costs me $250 to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you really don't have the money, you can file a paper that actually that makes you where you don't even have to pay for the shit because it's I forgot what it's called. It's on the tip of my. I'll get back with you on the name of that paper, but it's a paper you can file that actually where you don't have to pay for none of your paperwork if you're not able to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you have no job or whatever, it's a paper you file and they actually file all your shit. You get your records non-disclosed from apartment housing. People can't even look it up from getting a job, from applying for loans. All that. None of them 3 felonies I had don't even come up because I got them. But people don't know that.
Yeah.
And so anytime I run across like one of my little partners or anybody I know that got a history, I make sure, hey bro, when you do get off this shit, make sure you just go file this form here, boom, 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 and it's gonna take them about 3 to 6 months, and they gonna be able to get that shit cleared off your record. Now, if you got a little bit bigger bag, you do gotta pay for the expunction. It's like $500.
Okay.
But at the same time, lawyers will tell you got to pay them they $2,000 retainer fee. Some shit like that.
They want their money.
Exactly, but I'm not finna do that. You just gotta go study, bro. It's there.
Just to backtrack, so I know you was talking about you being adopted and all that stuff, man.
Right.
So did you ever meet your biological parents? Did you ever find them, or you kind of like?
No, my mom and my daddy raised me, so them my people, and I know it's gonna sound fucked up, but if you give a child up at birth, it's probably not meant for me to be in your life. I ain't trying to be funny. Now, when I get older and maybe, probably, I don't know. But right now, it's just, I really don't want to do that right now. I don't even want to meet.
Because, sometimes, like, I know I had two cousins in my family that were adopted. And, the first thing they think of is like, well, what is it about me that wasn't good enough?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then, like, a lot of times they find out, like, I think one of them met up with their parents and found out like their mom was like 14.
Right.
She got pregnant and knew that she couldn't give him
a better life,
the life that he deserved to have. And so it was her love to not see him struggle. Right. To get him in a position with a family. What he did, my aunt and uncle, he got to college. Yeah. He got drafted in Major League Baseball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that's real right there.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, do you ever look for that closure? But you just like
I do. I want it, but at this time, I think I'm not ready because I don't. Sometimes you that shit. Everybody's story ain't gonna be the same. Like my
so you're
story,
scared of the answer,
right? Like, I guess you could say the reality of the answer would probably impact me in some point. Like it won't make me just break down and lose it, and I'm just gonna give up everything. Like no, it's more or less so like maybe I ain't really just ready for that yet. You know what I'm saying?
I dig it.
Because my situation might be different. Now I would love to have that story and that shit build me up when you hear some shit like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got people that got stories that mom and them just was on dope and they just wanted to keep doing dope. And from my understanding, I was born on crack cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they did tell me that much, that I was one of them kids that was born on it with drugs in this system. And I was in the system, so it wasn't. I think it was more of a forced situation, where they had to kind of do that because it was endangerment of the child.
I got you. So you already got a kind of a precursor of where you are. I dig it
enough to where it'd be like, well, maybe this ain't the time. Maybe I want to be all the way in good in life to where maybe my mama still might need some help because. What if I can't? What if I meet these folks and then I can't? And she might need me and I want to help her, but I can't. Now I'm finna hurt myself more trying to put that pressure on me too. No doubt. I already got 2 kids, got a girl, got a family that's dependent on me and my mama and dad and them and sisters and brothers and shit. So it's like that's a whole nother family you taking on now.
No doubt.
And everybody look at you like, oh, you the one that might do something. You the one that's actually being, people talking about you. I heard motherfuckers saying your name and woo 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 woo. And with that, some of that notoriety gets you a bad reputation of where everybody think you already rich just because people talking about you.
Yeah.
So motherfucker might have to. You might, and that's the problem with this rap, I should say. And doing this, sometimes people don't like your family don't know. Like somebody told me, you're gonna be famous before you get rich. Like it's very seldom that people get rich and then they get famous.
At least in the entertainment business.
Right. Of course.
At least in the entertainment
Unless
business.
you had enough money or a big enough bag to put yourself on. Yeah. Like your Young Dolphs and your Jeezys and shit like that. People that didn't have to sign majors to come into this shit.
No doubt.
That's different. You paid for your notoriety, which is what you said. I liked it, what you told me earlier, because it made me rethink. It puts the power back in your field, your ballpark. You ain't got to worry if shit gonna get done your way because you paid for it.
Yeah, and just to kind of reiterate what we was talking about earlier, we was talking about, people paying versus, people reaching out, because a lot of rappers feel like, hey, bro, I'm out here grinding, I'm out here hustling, people not helping me.
Right.
But the thing is that if you come in with the bag, the control is all in your hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can demand that customer service. You can demand when you want it done, how you want it done. You in all control. But the moment you become a charity, a person can do it when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and it's not on your time. And you just have to accept how it was done, even if it's not up to your standards. So, but I feel like you won't have to always pay for everything. I think, like, for example, when artists do features, like if you got a chance to do a big feature, let's say you do one with Rick Ross, right? Rick Ross say, hey, I want 15 bands for the feature.
Right.
the biggest mistake most artists make is they send the 15,000, send a song, let him record it, he send it back. Guess what? It's no relationship made. You just pay for a straight service. So it's like, okay, cool, I'll pay you the 15,000. I want to fly to Miami. I want you to come to Dallas. I like to get in the studio and work together on the track. Because then guess what happens? It's like, okay, now he got a face. You're not another number. And if you go hard on the track, it's gonna be mutual respect. And now you broke that ice. You you probably won't have to pay for that feature. You're just out of love now, out of respect. And you got a story, bro. So I think most people gonna respect your story. You know what I'm saying? Respect who you are as a person, bro. That it's not always about the money, but money breaks the ice.
Right. And I understand because, you know, just to tell them what I said earlier, what I was telling Big Bro is, you know, I feel like I'm one of them artists that paid for. That's paying my dues, and I was telling them I felt like that I don't get enough love when it come to you know, if I pay you 5 or 6 times and I'm still being looked at as, oh well, you gonna pay every time you come. You know, I appreciate you telling me that, because now you making me look at it like, you know, even though you are paying, you might want to continue to pay because you don't want to become that charity favor. You know what I'm saying? And that shit really, that was some real shit. You know, because. But I'm not the type of person that's gonna express myself on social media and say shit like that though. That's what I was telling you earlier. So you'll never know. That's just some shit we was talking about before, behind the scenes, you know.
No doubt, man. So let's get to this music,
right on,
man. So you came in on the single "Whole Life,"
right? So
tell us a little bit about that single, man. How that come about? Who the producer on it?
Yeah, I got me and Sean on the beat went in on it. I actually did the pre-recording here.
Okay.
Yeah, my boy Sean on the beat did that. I got 4 of them on the tape from him. Soul Flow 2 dropped July 30th.
Dope.
And Whole Life is basically what we just got through talking about. My whole life has been a grind from when I first was born. You know, I came into this world grinding for survival. You know what I'm saying? So my whole life I've been doing that. So it kind of just it just really a record that speaks about what I done came from and what I have done. And how I've been doing it and what I'm going to continue to do. And it's a little bit of fun shit in there too, you know. But me, I'm more of an artist that likes to express, you know, who he is and not just talk about the glitz, even though I do. I like to talk about the shine and diamonds and shit like that, but I also like to have some type of, you know, other shit. And I feel like that one spoke a lot for me and how I come when I deal with you or what my life is about. That kind of just set the tone before you even meet me. Well, this nigga done went through something. He rapping some good shit. You know what I'm saying? I try to do that.
For sure.
But, you know, that record is a good, solid record that I feel like is going to go well to the fans.
Okay. So tell me, okay, you got your song, you got your single, you working on that, you doing big things with producers. So what's your creative process? Are you a freestyler? Are you a writer? How do you go through that process?
I mean, to be honest with you, the definition of soul flow is basically it's how I'm feeling at the moment. So I never go into, I'm finna make a song like this. I can't really. It's hard for me to come in like pre-thinking on how I want my song to be because 9 times out of 10 it ain't gonna come out like that anyway. It's more or less so if I can hear some shit, that beat might talk to me. Yeah. And it might just tell, you know, I might get to saying some shit. I flow on it, and it's really just let my soul opening up for me. It's just really, I'm on that hoe, I'm just flowing. And 9 times out of 10, it be a freestyle, but it's more that punch in, punch out shit. But it's what I'm feeling at that moment. And sometimes I have songs that I already came up with before I came to the studio, shit like that. Yeah. So, you know, it's just shit. My creative ability with that music shit, I feel it has a big range. Like I could do a lot of versatile shit. Like I might have some street shit, then I might have some shit that everybody like from your mama and your auntie and your cousins and shit. We might play it at the barbecue, at the family reunion, and then I might have some records that's talking about, you know, a struggle. Then I might have a record that's talking about loving a female. You know, I'm never just gonna be like, oh, when you hear Don Perrion or Playa Perrion, you ain't finna just hear, oh, that nigga for a trap rapper. Like, nah, but I can get with the best of the trap rappers and rap some trap shit, but that ain't my whole image. I don't want to just be classified as one thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that's what I always try to pride myself on when doing music and coming up with new shit. I just always wanted to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be the same like a lot of niggas kind of on the same pattern of rap and the da-da-da-das and who like and throw an ad-lib here or there. I'm gonna catch you with some cool shit. Like I'm gonna say some player shit, and it's gonna be some damn that nigga. That shit relatable to the motherfucker. That nigga, that's some real dope shit he just said, and it sounded good. You know what I'm saying? Cause some niggas say some real shit, it just be sounding off though. You ever noticed that?
It's all about delivery. I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I mean that's real. So what are you working on right now? What's the plan for 2018?
Right now, shit, I just did the show with Lil Baby at Gas Monkey. I got Gucci at Gas Monkey in a month and a half. I got the tape dropping July 30th, Soul Flow 2, 18 records on there. I got about 5 features in all. I got 2 from Mac Boney or PSC. I got a couple of my partners I'm fucking with on there, man. Some young cats that I'm trying to pull up, you know, trying to always open the door. Whatever I do, I try to help people that's always looked out for me, or it's just, even if you ain't looked out for me, you might have spent money with me and gave me a bag for a song. I'm not want to be one of them. Or if it's a good quality song, I'm putting that bitch out too. I'm not one of them old niggas, man, look, nigga paid me $1,500 though, but shit. No, nigga paid me 15, but if the bitch jam, we gonna keep the bitch going. It ain't just dope. I don't like just taking niggas' money. I like to actually do this music shit and try to get the best potential out of each record that I do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's been songs that I sold niggas, I'm like, damn, I shouldn't even sold that nigga that song. But just because I sold it and it went that hard, I'm finna make sure I promote that bitch just as hard as if it was just my record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most niggas don't do that shit. They be focusing on just they bag and shit and they, you know, they people and just putting on for they fans and their Instagram followers or whatever. But fuck that shit. Music, it's good music, bro. I'm from Texas. I like to help other motherfuckers, bro. That's what Pimp C was on.
No doubt.
Before a nigga died. We gotta bridge the gap of the selfishness with rappers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm by far one of the most selfless niggas when it come to this music shit, I feel.
Okay. So then, man, you got some big things popping, big features popping. Anything, man, before we end that you want to like let your fans know, your guests know out there before you get out of here?
I mean, y'all make sure y'all go download Soul Flow 2. It's on the way, July 30th, like I said. Go follow me at Playa Perrion on Instagram. Shit, I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity, man, and shit, that's it, bro. We doing Big Mogul shit around this bitch. You did what I'm saying?
And before we get out of here, bro, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find the music.
Okay, it's gonna be the music gonna be on our streaming platforms, titles, iTunes, Google Play, Spinrilla, Spotify, all the major platforms are streaming. I don't know if I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a few free downloads apps where, you know, my mixtapes and shit like that and Spinrilla, but I'm not too fond of the fucking free streaming, bro. You
no
know,
doubt.
But anyway, yeah, y'all can go find it there. Y'all can go find me on all the social media platforms. It's a Playa Perrion. You know what I'm saying? And shit, let's lock in, let's tap in. Any artists that want to work, just hit me. Prices are very reasonable, and shit is subject to change. You did.
My dude, man. Well, hey, bro, I appreciate you coming rocking with us. Right, this your boy Big D The Mogul. Again, on Mogul Moves Only with my guy Playa Perrion. And we out of here. Peace.
Perrion, you did what I'm saying. Shining from a distance. Bitch wanted to be what I'm saying. Yeah. I've been grinding for my whole life. I just had to get my money right. Yeah. I've been grinding for my whole life. I just had to get my money right. Yeah. I've been grinding for my whole life. Yeah. I just had to get my money right. Yeah. I've been grinding for my whole life. If you want it, gotta pay the price. Yeah. If you tryna live a better life, grind, go get it. My kids paid for, fam good. Mama so proud 'cause I didn't came.